back to the bonus stage on GameSpot. It's day 2 of E3. I'm your host, John Davison. With me right now, Garnet Ling and Jeff Kanata from the Weekend Confirmed podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
How are you doing?
That sounds very obligatory. We're doing great.
How you doing? Let's get the small talk out of the way. All right, that's enough of the bullshit. What are you seeing that's good?
I think there's a lot of stuff that's good.
Where do you want to go first?
I just saw Darksiders 2, and I've been playing so much Diablo.
Are they showing it on Wii U?
I only saw it on 360.
Okay, because in the videos, the Wii U version looked really slick.
Well, the
Interesting.
Wii U looked really good. I think that people have forgotten that is a new box.
Yeah.
And it is a little more powerful than what's out right now, so it does show off pretty well, right?
Oh, I got a lot of hands-on with Wii U
What
yesterday,
do you
and
think of the look of it?
it looks really. You mean of the physical box itself, or the?
I think your mic is turned off.
Is your mic going on?
I sat on it.
Nobody wants to listen to you anyway.
Live technical difficulties.
There you go.
I am remiked.
You're remiked.
I can speak again.
So
Should we
the
rewind back and do that again? Sorry about that.
so the Wii U I think looks really good, especially New Super Mario Brothers U, which is a very difficult thing to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty game. It's pretty.
It
Don't
is
be
pretty.
eye
It
rolling
is
me.
pretty. I felt like Nintendo let us down on most fronts.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that, but I will say that the one game that they didn't show at the conference that I played yesterday is I think it's just a temp title now, but it's called Project P100.
That looked really interesting.
Really
Sort of
cool.
Sci-fi Pikmin vibe.
Exactly. It's superheroes. You play an entire team all at the same time,
Yeah.
and they can form sort of Voltron style different things
Yeah.
by making the shape of that thing on the.
You look like
You're not so excited
You
about
having
that.
trouble with our couch, Garnet?
I can't get comfy
It's
here.
a bit futon-y,
It
isn't
is a bit futon-y, yeah. I feel like you should just slide further down and just have a controller and start playing something.
You can
Well,
sit like
that would
that
not
if
be
you
a
want.
bad
If you want to go groin first into the
Yeah.
you can go. It's fine.
Anyway,
P100.
but what I was saying before about, I mean, we're all over the place, but what I was saying before
Surprise.
about Darksiders 2, there's fat loots.
What?
It's got fat loots, which is what I'm so into Diablo that anything. with
Speaking of fat loots, I think it's over in that direction as well. Have you seen Ascend?
Yes.
That has an interesting loot mechanic because you can
Right.
you can take.
Well, now you beat me. What's Ascend?
You
Give
can
me
take.
what's the quick
It's
view of
the,
Ascend?
so it's the Signal game, the Toy Soldiers guys.
Yeah. But they
So
showed it at the
they
Microsoft
showed it in the
conference.
Microsoft press conference.
Right. One of the 3 that were actually new IPs that they were
Right.
like, here's 3 IPs. Boom.
Yeah, but one of the interesting things about that is that it's got, I mean, it came off like a God of War looking thing, and it's much deeper than that. But with the loot and the combat in that, it has almost like a, so you can take dead bodies or junk from your world and lob it into someone in your friend's world.
Yeah.
And it's an asynchronous thing. So if I'm playing and I kill a bunch of bad guys, I can send all the corpses into your world. Or if I die, you can come, like, if I'm playing co-op with someone.
What if I don't want your corpses?
So that's the kind. It's like there's sort of like dumping stuff on people. Or
See,
so you
Darksiders
can,
does that too.
Oh, it does?
It's like if I don't want this loot, I can throw it to my friend. There's no multiplayer, but my friend can get my junk that I don't want.
Cool.
So they took the old shared loot box that used to have across multiple characters in one game and turned it
They're
into
making it sort of an
make it a
elective-
friends list
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing. I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
It's sort of cool. I am excited for Pikmin. I mean, I didn't mean to dump on Nintendo. I don't know that Pikmin's going to sell systems.
I think
But
it's a weird game to come out and say this is the one, right?
Well, I
did
made
you
the
not
mistake.
feel like something was missing out of that? That show felt mysteriously like.
Did some tangible tension as well.
Did something disappear? Like,
I mean, Reggie seemed pissed about the 3DS stuff. I mean, like.
it was weird. It was a weird show.
I made the
At
mistake
Nintendo
of,
Land.
I made the mistake of playing Pikmin 3 at the booth
Why a
with
mistake?
this
Oh,
control.
you should still play it with the
It is
controller.
made
yeah,
for the
it's
Wiimote.
still made for the
Oh,
Wiimote.
really?
Made for the Wiimote.
Yeah.
So
because
does it not? I mean, it's not all touchy.
no, there's a map
The map's nice.
that I never looked at, and you control an on-screen cursor with the gyroscope.
I think that the map will come
so
into
it's
play
very
in
unwieldy.
higher levels. As you get into more complex structures, where you need to use your rock Pikmin over here and your water Pikmin over there, it's going to be a lot easier to see all that on that map interface. But it's still way easier to
It's
point.
made to be played with the Wiimote. For sure.
So I really thought we were going to get a Zelda tease or whatever Retro's working on at the very
Or
end.
a real Mario that's
Or a
not
real
just a
Mario.
2D Mario. Yeah.
And we got none of those things, which is why, that's why I was saying, despite the fact that I was excited about Pikmin, if you're a big time Nintendo fan, you have to say, wait, what happened here? Like, Nintendo Land is a bunch of, you took all the tech demos from last year and made them into a game, and you're not even sure you're going to pack them in?
Yeah.
I just...
Did you go to the thing last night that they had?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Not,
I did.
Not
That's
impressed?
not, you're not like grins and...
I wanted to. I mean, it was a deeper dive into all the stuff we already saw, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid on it, and you know,
They are drinking the
it's
The one thing I do like about what they're saying, at least, is that while everyone else, when they say social, they mean Facebook connected or fake social network that they're
Yeah.
building. When Nintendo says social, they mean sitting next to each other on a couch and playing a game together.
well, New
Wait,
Super Mario
you're
Brothers.
assuming that they know what they mean when they say social, and I'm not really so sure of
okay,
that.
I'm projecting that this is what I hope they mean
Well,
when they
one
say
of the
that.
things that they showed last night was how New Super Mario Brothers U has got all these hooks for, hey, you've died 6 times on the same guy. How do you feel about that? Spend about a minute and a half to type in how you feel, and then that'll populate into other people's games. It's got this messaging system on the overmap, right? So I don't see myself spending a lot of time going, wow, it sucked when I died there, or
You know what people are going to be typing in that?
flowers are great.
They're going to be typing penis, 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 and then they'll draw one.
Yeah.
And that's the sad truth. Because everyone likes to
and they
troll
might
that
not be as
stuff.
polite as saying penis.
Oh, like, right, that's not even going to be that polite. I think there was a big disappointment on the social front as well, that they didn't show how they're going to handle friend codes or any of the online suite. I mean, come on, they said up at front, look, we're not going to get too distracted. We're going to talk about games, games, and games. There's going to be 23 games on display, which I don't know how they count to 23, but I didn't reach 23. I don't know if I even filled up 10. And then they were also going to talk
There were
about...
12 in Nintendo Land.
Oh,
Okay, well we've shat on Nintendo.
So we shat on
But I'm not.
Nintendo.
But that's the thing is, I don't want to just come off that way because I wanted to point out that I really think that the hardware looks great. If you look at Pikmin, the water effects, the detail in the environments, the things that they're able to do on the screen there, it looks really great. And I think that that bodes well for what can happen with the system
Right.
in the hands of new developers. If it is really as adept at, for instance, just running Unreal Engine. Just running Unreal Engine, which is going to, I think, become a big part of platform strategy in the next 3 to 5 years, is going to be huge for them.
Yeah. I think they might have a problem with the sort of Wii U versions of games that came out a year ago, though, particularly when it's
Batman,
shipping.
yeah.
Like, you can have Batman Game of the Year, which I'm sure Amazon will have for $20 on 360 on Black Friday, or less. And the Wii U version, full price. I mean,
The new menu system. That's about all you get.
he has a Wii U controller on his arm.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
Well,
That was awkward enough as it was with the marketing VP guy sort of giving this dry narration of a pre-canned video that was...
All right, let's stop shitting on stuff. What did
Yeah,
you
what's
really
good?
like?
Halo. I just went and played or
Yeah.
watched someone play
And
Halo.
I played it last night.
Yeah.
The
Did you play
multiplayer modes.
You played Spartan
I played
Ops?
Spartan Ops last
Spartan
night.
Ops looks awesome, and it's like somebody figured out how to do episodic.
Yeah?
It's true
David
episodic.
Ellis figured out how to do episodic.
Yeah.
Very good, David.
It's awesome. It's a brilliant
Well done, David.
idea, and it's got me excited. I hope everyone rips off this idea.
Yeah.
And I want to be engaged in a game and look forward week to week like I do with a television show.
So
And
do
go,
you think this is a way to get people that aren't as experienced to feel drawn into a multi? Because like a lot of people they go
Absolutely.
into a multiplayer thing and it's like, oh Jesus, and just
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if you're in junior high and you got your buddy who loves Halo, and every week you're excited because the next episode comes out, you watch it, then you play a mission from it, and you and your buddy have this ongoing character that you're leveling up through the whole. I mean, that's an awesome concept.
It's not just Diablo, it's the Borderlands sauce as well.
Yeah.
And I think that it also is evidence of how people who've been doing this stuff now for a little while are starting to get the hang of what can we do with downloadable content that isn't just a map pack, that isn't just an add-on piece of armor, like the
Right.
horse armor or whatnot. We can do more things. If you look at Borderlands, one of the things they've already said is that in Borderlands 2, they're going to be able to do downloadable classes. Okay, that's a pretty cool idea.
And every time I see Borderlands 2, I'm just blown away by how it looks. Oh my god.
It's so much
It's
fun.
amazing. It's
so
awesome.
much
I played
fun.
it yesterday.
Me too.
But so I don't want to get too sidetracked on that because we're starting to talk about Halo. But both both of these games, they have that cooperative experience, and yeah, you're exactly right, it's not intimidating because it's always fun to buddy up and then go stomp mobs.
Yeah.
It was always fun in StarCraft.
Yeah.
Even StarCraft, which is an off-putting game for some people, they see the championships, you know, of the professional game, and they're like, man, I could never play like that. But if you can comp stomp together, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So Halo good.
Halo looks really good. Borderlands looks great.
Yeah.
The 2 new classes that they show. We played.
Which one did you play?
I played the guy with the turret.
Oh, that's cool.
I can't remember the name of the class though, but it's the
Gunzerker.
No, Gunzerker's the other one. They announced him a while back, but I can't remember. He's not assassin.
I played the assassin.
Yeah, assassin's cool.
The assassin's super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Melee trace, tree, sniper tree. Awesome ways to take that character.
Yeah.
Really fun.
That game's gonna be fantastic. What else did I see that's really cool?
Have either of you? So I've been trying to find. I've not had a chance to go out and get. I want to try and play Forza and Need for Speed because they're the two sort of the big
Need for Speed
racing
looks so
franchises.
awesome.
I don't Need for Speed. I mean, from just what I've seen, I'm more excited about Need for Speed because it's Criterion redoing Burnout Paradise with a Most Wanted skin.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little inside baseball, but the art of the demo seems to have been lost this year on Turn 10 because that Need for Speed demo is, what, a minute and a half? 2 minutes? You hop in a car, you don't have any choice over car, you drive down a road to a finish line, game over, and you don't really get, I mean...
The Forza demo.
Yeah.
You said Need for Speed.
I'm sorry, the Forza demo. Yeah, and it's just very...
The only car they're showing is the Viper, right?
Right. Which is the new Viper, which
And
is
they're
cool.
saying that it's the Forza driving engine, but a couple of people have said that it doesn't feel...
It does not feel like the Forza. I as a very big Forza fan, if it is the Forza engine, it's highly modified.
Yeah.
Because it is much more oriented towards that sort of Criterion Burnout, hold a power slide feel, run it through the run off of a corner and make a sneaky move, which is fine. I mean, I think that's what they wanted to hit with it. But I wouldn't go out and say at the same time, oh, it's the Forza engine, because...
Have you played Most Wanted, either of you?
I haven't. I'm seeing stuff around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
I'm
I
really
mean, I watched
excited
that
for it,
video
though.
and I was just like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for anything Criterion does these days.
Too.
I like the idea of them getting into the city.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
didn't look like it was running at 30 frames a second, and Craig at Criterion has always been, we don't do anything that runs at less than 60, but there's so much like junk and debris and sparks and stuff. I could live without the junk and sparks if it was running faster.
And let's not take too much away from a alpha, or, you know, a demo. It's just a demo at the end of the day, right?
I'm excited though.
Resident Evil 6 was
Oh, what you just told me about is amazing.
Yeah, you know, this
I
guy.
think is that did not.
I didn't think it looked good
That did
either.
not look good.
But have you heard this part?
Interesting concept. It's got, 3 co-op campaigns, all of which you can start at any time from the main menu. So you can, and they all run concurrently story-wise.
Right.
So everything's happening all at once, and the characters, the pairs of characters, all bump into each other at certain points. And when you bump into, when you and your co-op partner bump into someone, it populates those 2 people with somebody else out in the world who's playing that other campaign. So you're potentially bopping into other people's games and they into yours.
I like that idea.
It's really kind of a
That
clever
sounds much
concept.
more interesting than that awful video that they showed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that video suffered from that sort of Michael Bay syndrome of stuff just happening. Oh,
Why-
here's an action.
why is there a jet
action,
fighter falling
jump,
out of the
action,
sky?
Jump,
Yeah.
action.
You know what I've never seen before? A helicopter bumping into a subway train. Let's do that.
Yeah, well, Dishonored fell into the same thing because I don't think the Dishonored video portrayed that game very well, and it's definitely one of my favorite games of
I'm
the
getting
show.
a Bioshock vibe off of that.
It's more Thief meets Deus Ex.
Oh, okay.
And it's the first part of a trend that I think is really cool going forward of game designers being able to do much more sandbox style game level design in a guided story experience.
Yeah.
And by that I mean that if you go back and look at like Deus Ex, even Human Revolution, you had multiple paths to get through things, but it sort of felt like someone had taken a box and cut holes in it, and they said, okay, Lab Rat, you can go through hole 1 or hole 2 or hole 3, and we've got paths for you to follow. But in this game, in Dishonored, and also as I found out yesterday in Last of Us, they are able to run enough logic now inside those areas to allow you as a player to just basically go in and do what you want to do and have things start to happen. So in Dishonored, the cool thing was we saw it play full-on stealth with no kills, totally sneaking, using sneaking powers, and being, very covert ops sort of thief-like. and then the exact opposite end of the spectrum, full on, guns blazing, everything destruction. Of course, a lot of the knifey stabby stuff. And I think that when they were making their demo tape, they probably said, well, how do we communicate this game and get people's excitement? And they got a little too caught up in that flash. So that if you saw Last of Us, I saw a demo yesterday in Sony where they played the same thing that was in the press conference in a completely different way. Not so much gunplay, although still had some gunplay.
It was enslaved.
Huh. I can see that.
Because it was that
the
kind of
post-apocalyptic,
there's sort of like that dynamic
Climbing.
between two characters. Yep. The fact that it was fun, because I mean, Enslaved would funnel you down this thing, but in a very subtle way. I mean, a completely different aesthetic of it, you know, with the sci-fi stuff. But
well, what I learned in this is that you don't necessarily get funneled as strongly as it might have appeared.
oh, really?
It's simply a matter of which way you want to go and what you want to do. And they're doing so much procedurally in the game. So say, for instance, in any of those combat scenes, you elect not to pull out your gun, then the people you're fighting against are going to respond in a different way. If you pull out a lead pipe, they may or may not pull out a gun because this is a world of scarce resources. Just as you have, you know, only 2 bullets in your gun there, they probably have a limited amount of ammo. They aren't going to perceive you as a big a threat, and they'll proceed in that manner of approaching it, which is
I thought the
really
whole
cool.
stuff with the girl and whether if she'll only attack the guy with the brick if you were somewhere earlier where she picks up the brick.
That's cool.
So like the sort of dynamic, the way it chains the dynamic stuff together, and you'll see a scene completely differently.
That's
I'm interested
rad.
to see how deep that dynamic versus scripted idea kind of goes with it.
So to take that a further step, her conversation points are all also generated on the fly based off of what has been happening in the world. So in that brick instance, you know, as you're searching around, if you're searching around for something and haven't been able to find it, depending on where you've looked and where you haven't looked in your immediate surroundings and where she's looked and where she hasn't looked in her immediate surroundings, she might suggest that you go look someplace else. She might go find an item that you need and say, hey, it's over here, or bring it back to you.
Yeah.
There's all these different permutations that allow it to be really dynamic based off of what's happening in those worlds. And that's what's cool, is instead of just drilling holes, it really opens it up to, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to play the game?
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
I could definitely get on board with that.
Not yet. We see that tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm very excited too.
So what have you guys got coming up today that you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, you already said Burnout. I mean,
Yeah.
not Burnout, Need for Speed. Sorry, Criterion. But I mean, it is how I think
Six
about
of one,
it.
half dozen the other.
It is kind of how I think about it.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to Sony today. I don't know what we're seeing. Bethesda stuff. I'm seeing Dawn Guard. I'm really excited to see Dawn Guard later.
I'm sorry, I rolled my eyes. I apologize. It's just, I still have that love-hate, don't know what to do with Skyrim relationship.
It's
You
wonderful.
love hate what?
Don't know what to do with Skyrim relationship.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You love it. That's what you do.
I
You
do love it. No, I love it, but I still found that I had the same thing that's happened before, which is I got into the game and got distracted by the side quests.
And you're just so distracted now, you're like completely directionless?
Yes.
I can see that. I kind of got there, because I finished the main story really early by accident,
That's smart.
and then just sort of like,
And I knew better.
Drifted.
Yeah.
I knew I should have done that. I knew I should have done that. And yet the thing is, their side quest design and their world design is so strong that I couldn't help myself from getting pulled into those things.
I did get sucked into the guild stuff in a big way.
Yeah.
And then I got distracted by other things. And
We loved Oblivion too.
I
so
loved
I'm not
Oblivion
really
a
surprised
lot
by
as
that.
well, so yeah.
I think Ubisoft has a really strong showing between Far Cry 3, which really has me excited, and Watch Dogs, which who knows when that
And
game
you haven't even
is
said
coming.
Assassin's Creed yet.
I know, like that's the lowest on my list from them.
You're
Also,
nuts.
I mean, I thought,
You're
It's
crazy.
amazing, but it's like
have you seen Rayman Legends?
looks awesome.
Don't overlook it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh
astounding.
wow.
Yeah,
we
and
already
even
overlooked one this
Zombie U
generation.
looks interesting. I think it does. I think it
It
looks
did look kind of
You think what looks
interesting.
interesting?
Zombie U.
Yeah, I think it's got a lousy name, but I think
Oh, it's a
an
terrible
interesting
name.
game.
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot better than the game it used to be, which is that alien thing they showed last year.
Yeah, the really convoluted title.
that was
I
not
remember.
Yeah.
That was not cool.
I don't think we need a lot of things with U at the end of them. I'm not so certain
There
that's
are a lot of things where the subtitle starts with the letter U.
Yes.
And Assassin's Creed on Vita.
I know, with a different protagonist.
And it's a she.
It's a she.
I think that looks super cool, and I just feel like even that has sort of flown off into the, like, people missed it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a weird show.
It is.
It seems hard
Feels
to-
a little kind of
chaotic.
Everything's at the same kind of level. There's only a few real standouts.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a weird feel for just how nobody's buzzing about anything. Everybody's sort of like, so what have you seen? It's like, I saw this, I saw that.
But we're bugging the guys in our room. Like, has anyone seen anything like completely off the radar that is blowing your mind? And like, a couple of people mentioned that Hawken looked pretty cool, and
Hawken does
a
look
bunch
really
of people
cool.
are high on Unfinished Swan, but they were kind of known entities coming in.
Right.
Well, Unfinished Swan is part of that new breakaway of let's do something small and somewhere
different.
so different, and then take advantage of the digital distribution platforms, and that's cool. That's what it should be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what's going to be the future of console exclusives.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't. I mean, there's very limited resources, even for a big publisher, even for a big platform holder, to keep making Halo 4s and Last of Us's. There's only so many of those you can afford to do.
Yeah. What we just had Tim on talking about, the new model and the way that they're looking at making games, and it's much more liberating for them to not have to worry about the big publisher breathing down their neck.
I mean, think about it this way: we're at E3, and for the first time, this one hall that we're in here has all 3 platform holders
Yeah.
in one
really
hall.
weird.
And over in the other hall, 3 has their full TGS booth here, and it's basically as big as the PlayStation booth.
Yeah.
That mean whether or not we as core gamers are completely enthusiastic about it, that's a big sign of.
Gray and Tryon are huge over there.
Yeah.
In terms of presence.
Well, Tryon's doing some really interesting stuff in the PC space. I'm kind of excited about War.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Double Dragon Neon?
No, haven't seen it.
Hilarious looking. It's a remake of Double Dragon with awesome graphics and like way more jokes about the 80s, and you have mixtapes and pretty sweet looking. Trying to think of like off the radar crazy. Oh, I hope you get some time with Dyad. You should go and see Dyad. It's at the Sony booth.
All right, rewind me to Dyad.
Dyad is the crazy, trippy, psychedelic game where it's like
Have you seen Dyad?
No? I want to though.
what's like a Space Giraffe kind of. It's awesome. You have to see it. It's amazing.
Okay,
I saw it at
Sounds
GDC.
good.
It's awesome.
there you go.
All right, well, we're running out of time. You want to give a little plug for your show?
Yeah, sure. We can confirm the best podcast in the world. Used to be better when you were on it.
Oh, I wish I could have come on Friday, but I have to leave here and I have to go
Standing
to
invitation
Anaheim.
for you anytime, of course.
Fantastic. You want to give
And
out,
Totally
give out
Retro.
your Twitter handles for everybody?
At Jeff Canada with 2 N's and 1 T.
And at Garnet Lee, 2 T's and 1 N.
Ayo.
All right, that's it. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'm your host, John Davison. My Twitter is JWH Davison. We'll be back with, I believe, Jason Rubin is going to join us in a little while. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes.